see the fact that both teams will be skating short-handed as those penalties carry over the World Skating League. Richard Brown penalized along with one of the Rustlers at the end of the second period, so we start 4-on-4 here in the third period as they come around, and the Texas Rustlers have got to get something going. They're in danger of being blown out, and it's number 44, Amy Becker, out in the lead for the Rustlers, being chased by Laura Weintraub, and it's Mindy Smith coming up, pulling the rear as the other jammer out for the Hot Dice, along with Renee Blevins for the Texas Rustlers. And certainly Laura Weintraub's job now is just to prevent any scoring with the Dice in a big lead.
Well, Laura Weintraub, we talked about her never living up to her potential. She's gotten out, is doing a pretty good job today, Ken.
And now they close in on the pack, and back to try and block out Weintraub is number 49, Carrie Johnston. But she didn't need to worry because Weintraub took down both the Nevada Hot Dice jammers, and Weintraub very alert, the first one getting back up, and now she is closing on Carrie Johnston. Johnston 5'5", 150. We'll see what Weintraub can do. A spin around, boom, sends Johnston right into the rail, completely fakes her out. Weintraub cuts it off after picking up a point. The Rustlers very unhappy.
Well, I'm gonna send Laura Weintraub a thank you card for making me look so smart, Ken. But I tell you, we're seeing a little bit of fire under the backside of Laura Weintraub, and she's getting it up. She's mixing it up with the roughest and the toughest of the Texas Rustlers, the spark plug, Renee Blevins. But Laura Weintraub, we saw her take down two of the Texas Rustlers first, and then we saw a great spin move to score the points for her Nevada Hot Dice.
And Laura Weintraub, a former women's hockey player, certainly learned that spin move on the ice, and boy, it worked to perfection right there. And again, the Hot Dice building a big lead, and it's now 12-5. And the Texas Rustlers have fallen into this trap so many times. They fall so far behind, they basically begin to give up, feel they cannot catch up to the other team. Whether that happens again, we'll find out. Now Shea Brown giving the big whip to Mindy Smith as they come around, and this is Laura Heiser out for the Texas Rustlers. The two quickest women on their respective team, but boy, Laura Heiser has got a lot of points to make up. And right now, Mindy Smith staying with her stride for stride, throws a knee in for added measure.
And Mindy Smith, I tell you, Laura Weintraub is materializing as a jammer for the Nevada Hot Dice. These Nevada Hot Dice are going to be a team to be reckoned with, and Mindy Smith scores a point.
A big lift for the Nevada Hot Dice, worked to perfection, and 2 more points for Mindy Smith as the Hot Dice continue to build on this lead.
Well, actually, it's being pointed out to me by Buddy Atkinson Jr. that Mindy Smith did a very heads-up job, Ken, because the lift was not performed by the Nevada Hot Dice blockers. It was actually performed by the Texas Rustler blockers, and Mindy Smith sent Laura Heiser over the railing, stole the points, scored the points. Great heads-up play.
Pretty much tells the story of the problems for the Texas Rustlers. They diagram a great play. They pull it off to perfection. What happens? They fall 2 points further behind on the scoreboard. They have got to get something going. 14-5, and it is all Nevada Hot Dice. Now, Talisa Miller, I've got no idea why in the world, unless she's trying to take a page from Kim Hart, doing a little showboating of her own, and now they both go down. Kim Hart gets up first, has a little problem getting her balance, but here comes Talisa Miller. It is Miller and Kim Hart as they come around. The Nevada Hot Dice, and with a big, big lead. Talisa Miller taking exception to some of Kim Hart's antics. Gives her the elbow, sends her a little high on the track. Hart getting nowhere near the railing, so even that move didn't work very well. And now they go by, you've got bodies sprawled all over. Miller goes by first, as does Kim Hart, and now Miller cuts off the jam before Hart can catch up. 4 points for Talisa Miller, but Kim Hart picked up 3, so it's only a 1-point advantage.
Well, and I've got to take exception with Tig Miller, even though she scored the points. It's hurt. I believe that Shea Brown get into it. But Ken, you have to question, where is the leadership of the Texas Rustlers? You saw Tig Miller desperately in need of points early in the jam when she broke out. She started to play into the crowd. Somebody has to step up as a leader for these Texas Rustlers.
To answer your question, it must be back in the Lone Star State, because it's certainly not here at RollerJam Arena.
Absolutely not.
That's a given. It is still, after all that, it is still 17-9. The Nevada Hot Dice off to a big lead, and now Kim Hart once again with a jammer helmet, as is Talisa Miller. They haven't had enough of each other on the last one. This time Kim Hart gets full advantage as she comes down. Miller very slow getting up. There's Kim Hart. She loves to play to the crowd. I'll tell you, Kim Hart has an uncanny advantage. She always knows where the closest camera is. I can't figure it out, but somehow she always knows.
And they're telling me she always brushes her teeth in between jabs, Ken, so she'll have the pearly whites ready.
I just think I'm going to let that line pass. That's okay. I'll just ignore that one. Kim Hart always smiling and well as she could be, and now Bella goes high over the railing. Kim Hart weaves her way through. That's what she's picked up. She works her way through. Now she picks up the second point, and with that big lead, very alertly cuts off the jam after putting 2 more points on the board for the Nevada Hawkeyes.
And we were talking about watching for the Texas Rustlers to come out of the cellar. I think these Nevada Hawkeyes, Ken, may be on the verge of going from the middle of the pack here in the World Skating League. They're really coming to play today, and Kim Hart, all the celebrating aside, Laura Weintraub showed up today. Mindy Smith has really done it. These Nevada Hawkeyes may be a team, unlike the Texas Rustlers, who have found some leadership and some unity.
Buddy, what does the Texas Rustlers have to do to get back in this game?
Right now, they've got to pay attention and just do basics. You see what's happening here? They're getting out of control. They've gotten away from their game plan.
Buddy, you're exactly right. As time runs out, Mindy Smith suckered Laura Heiser into fighting rather than trying to continue the jam. And it's almost an insurmountable lead right now. We'll be back.